Determining relative ionization energy, or ordering. In this problem it says, using the periodic table above, which list is correctly arranged in increasing ionization energy? So we want to make sure we go from the smallest energy to the highest energy. Okay, to the highest. The lowest to the highest, or the smallest to the biggest would work here too. So we want to make sure we have the one that has the smallest. So we're going to take a look at these numbers right here: 10, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 1, 2. And we're going to make sure that, remember that when we go from left to right, we increase ionization energy. And we go from top to bottom, we decrease ionization energy. So when we're taking a look, we're going to see if we can find the lowest ionization energy. And that's going to be 10 because it's closer to the left, which means as we go from right to left, remember we decrease. So 10 has pretty low, and when we go down to the bottom, we know we have low ionization energies. So 10 is going to be our lowest. And notice that some of these start with 10. So those are the ones that we're going to work with. A and D, I'm going to cross off because they don't start with the lowest, but let's just make sure that they are not, that maybe the order that they gave us might not include other numbers that are lower. So 3 and 7, 7 is much lower, and that means has decreased a lot in its ionization energy. So that must mean that that's wrong, because remember, we're going from increasing, so we have to have the smaller one before the larger one. And notice the same thing goes for 6 because it is lower than 3. Here it is lower than 3, and so it must have a lower ionization energy because it decreases as you go lower or go down a group. And so this is also wrong. So we can be sure now A and D are not in the running. So now we have B, C, and E. So now we have 10, 9, and 8. So we're just going to take these three and see if that's correct. We go from 10, then we go to 9, which makes sense because when you go up, it increases. So we're increasing now. We're trying to get it in increasing order. So 9. But when I go from 9 to 8, it actually decreases. So 8 should come before 9, but it doesn't in this. So B is out of the running as well. So now we have 10, 7, 4, 2, and 10, 9, 6, 2, and 3. So 10 and 7. So that means it's increasing, great. And then we go to 4, which is also really good. And then we go from 2 to 1. But what we notice is that when you go from 2 to 1, what you're doing is decreasing. So that is not what we want. It would be right if it was 1 and then 2, but it isn't. So that means C is not in the running. So E must be the answer to our question, and we can do a quick check. We can see that 10 increases to 9 because as we go up it increases. Then we get to 6, which also goes up and increases. And then notice it goes from 2 to 3. And we know from when it goes from 2 to 3, when we go from left to right, it also increases. So that must make E our final answer.